this is my January wrap up. I read 4 books last month, which is not a lot, but it's fine. You know, it is what it is. Also, I got my hair done. I'm now platinum blonde. I like it. I just have to get used to it. Also, we haven't really uploaded, but life gets in the way. Excuse me. But life gets in the way, you know. My background is also really bad. Don't want to talk about it. But I have a lot of thoughts on the books that I did read. So let's just get into it. So first we have Kingdom of the Wicked. This book was in my, like, all the books I read in 2021. But I hadn't actually finished it yet. I was almost done, but I wasn't quite there. So I finished it in January, and I pretty much have the same thoughts. Okay. It did get a little bit interesting, kind of like at the very last page, or like last chapter, but I still kind of have the same thoughts. I rated it a 2. I'm staying with my 2. I read reviews on Goodreads, and a girl pretty much had the same thoughts that I had, which is that, like, essentially, I'm not going to talk about what it's about because I talked about that in my other video, but essentially there are these demons who are called the Wicked. You know, they've been alive for like decades, and then one day they're all just easily manipulated and like whatever by this 19-year-old witch who's like really inexperienced at the same time. Like, they just did not exude, is that the right word? I don't know, any powerfulness. It's not a word, but yeah, they just didn't, like, they weren't intimidating at all, and it's just kind of pathetic. Honestly, that's really what it is. So I do have the second book. I'm going to read it. I have heard that the second book is better, but I mean, we'll see. I don't know when I'm gonna read that one. Maybe this month. We'll see. So yeah, this one is still a 2 for me. And then I finished up a trilogy book series in January. So I talked about Servant and Dove in, once again, my other book video. Blood and Honey and Gods and Monsters. The second book is the third book. So Servant and Dove is my favorite out of all of them, as I think it is for many other people, because there's a lot of romance in the first book, and just, it's spicy, and their relationship is just great, and whatever. And in the second book, there's very little romance. The third book does not get any romance really until like almost the very end of the book, and both books are quite long. They're each like 600 pages, which is a decent amount, and they're also quite like dragged on. So I started Blood and Honey in like October of last year, and I finished it in January, so that's a long time. It's just, it put me in a reading slump, essentially. I don't know, it's very dragged on. It's a lot of, I don't know, not really much happens. The same thing with like Gods and Monsters, like not much happens. I don't know how to explain it. Another thing that people hated was their relationship. Like, they're just very, like, they keep fighting in the second book, and it's like their relationship has like taken a few steps back. And once again, I understand that people were upset about obviously I'm gonna be very vague here, but in Servant and Dove, at like the end of the book, right? Our main guy, Reed, he like grew up with certain values and beliefs, and he lived and did certain things, which weren't necessarily okay, but he believed they were. And then by the end of the book, you know, he pretty much, a lot of his beliefs and morals and all that turns upside down, and he has to deal with kind of the consequences of his actions and how a lot of things that he believed in were wrong and all that kind of stuff. So he has to deal with that. Like, pretty much his entire life was a lie. So, and there's just things there are also things that are just very difficult for him to accept, which I understand. So he kind of, throughout the book, he had these kind of like bitter emotions. And then there's Lou, our main girl, who is also struggling with, like, you know, trauma. And I don't know, I don't think there's anything wrong with showing the negative sides of relationships, so I didn't hate that personally. And then, so the second book, I rated a 3. I didn't hate it. And then we have Gods and Monsters, which is my second favorite. Once again, very dragged on, you know. This one also took me a little bit to finish. Well, not really. Maybe like a week. Less than a week. Maybe. I don't know. But I did read it, obviously, a lot faster than Blood and Honey. So, Gods and Monsters, same deal. Like, not much happens. Did I say that about Blood and Honey? I don't remember if I did, but not much happens in Blood and Honey, and not really much happens in Gods and Monsters. But then there's like, you know, the point where we reach kind of the end of the book, and kind of the whole, like, a big fight happens, you know, that whole thing. And I really liked it. There's also a very spicy scene between Lou and Reed, who are the main characters. It was really hot, I'm not gonna lie. So I like that, and so it also made me cry. I'm also gonna say that Gods and Monsters made me cry. It was very sad, so I did cry, and I liked the ending as well. And yeah, so I think for the most part, I did enjoy this trilogy. I do feel like emotionally attached to the characters, and I rated Gods and Monsters a 4 out of 5 because I really liked it, even though like not much happens. It's just a relationship between the characters. I just realized I haven't done any tapping. I love the cover photo. It's just gorgeous. I also love the hardcover book itself without the dust jacket. Very pretty. Also, pretty much this takes place, like everything that happens takes place in France, and from reviews that I've read, the author does not know French, so there's a lot of like mispronunciations in the books. Personally, I'm not really that upset about that, but I don't really have any standards. I'm not really that picky. I have a hair in my mouth. calling him crab, but it's not gonna happen. And if you're probably like, what the frick are you talking about? It's okay, because he knows what I'm talking about. I gave him a shout out in a different video. He doesn't like being called crab, but it's okay, because I'm going to anyway. Then we have Gods and Monsters. Very pretty. So the next book I read was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I got this book from Buttercup for Christmas, and yeah, I rated. I don't remember what I rated it. I'm pretty sure I rated it a 3. It was okay. I mean, it was decent. So there were a few things that annoyed me about it, which I'm also gonna have to be vague about, but essentially it's about our two main characters who are attending. So our main girl, okay, she has a twin sister who is marrying our main guy's brother, younger brother, okay? So they go to the wedding and they hate each other, obviously. So they go to the wedding and her name is Olive and the guy's name is Ethan. So Olive's sister is marrying Ethan's brother. You get it, okay? And so at the wedding, Ethan and Olive are pretty much not eating the same thing as everyone else. Everyone else is eating like some sort of fish, something, and the two of them are eating like a chicken or something. I don't remember why. I know that Olive was like allergic to the fish they were eating, but I don't remember his reasoning for not eating fish. So yeah, the two of them are eating a different dish, okay? And then people are at the wedding are pretty much getting sick and are like throwing up everywhere. It was a whole mess. And then later on they find out that they had like food poisoning from the fish, and which obviously led to Olive's sister and her husband not being able to go on their honeymoon because they're sick, from the fish. And so her sister is like, you know what, you can go on the trip because she got it for free. Don't remember how, but she got the trip for free. Excuse me. She got the trip for free. She like won it or something. I don't know. So she's like, you should go because, we can't go anyways, and like you can't reschedule or whatever. And that's also when Ethan goes as well. So they, go on this trip together. One thing that was kind of funny to me was, so Olive, she is Latina, and so she is like pretty much like curvy, thick, has a big butt, big boobs, that kind of thing. she thinks that Ethan like doesn't like her body or like whatever, which is really funny to me because I think majority guys specifically love that kind of body type. So that was funny to me because she mentions it several times in the book. She's like, he finds my body disgusting, and I'm just like, babes, he does not, but okay. But obviously things progress on this trip and whatever. One thing that I found kind of annoying is that, so there is like tension and stuff, but there aren't any graphic scenes, if you catch my drift. So there's a really nice warm-up, okay, between the characters. It's a really nice warm-up between the two, and then it just fades to black. What do you mean? It's fine. It's fine. So, just a warning. And then obviously, as we all know, when it comes to rom-coms and romance movies, there's always that big thing that happens that leads the two characters to like break up or like whatever, and then they like get back together. So that whole thing happens, which I can't get into really much detail about because it's, you know, a spoiler. But it was really frustrating because Olive was pretty much treated like shit. Okay, like she was treated so poorly, and it just annoys me that Olive forgave them as quick as she did, especially her sister. Oh my gosh. Obviously can't get into it, but like, whew, her sister is just the worst. Anyway. Those are all the books I read this month. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts. You're probably not going to, but let me know. And we will see you in the next one. Goodbye. See you later.